Hello there, YouTube. I am Necrostevo. And thank you for joining me here in battle number 3 in the pools of OLR. Our opponent today is none other than John Jr. This YouTuber is one that I've been watching for quite a while, so be sure to go check out his channel in the description. And boy, do we have our work cut out for us today, and girl, do we have our luck cut out for us today. We have a matchup here. Do some elements of this look familiar? Is it because we just freaking faced Ogerpon and Sableye in week number 1 and lost against Chef Who? Yes, Chef, we did. But we learn and we move on. Now, John Jr. has Terra, Raging Bolt. And for this matchup, after being terrorized by the Ogerpon in the other matchup, I decided to go with Terra Grass on my Tornadus. Now, major shout outs to the council on this one. Thank you all so much for helping me prep. I deeply appreciated the additional thoughts on this one, because I went into this battle going, I have to win this battle. Granted, I go into every battle going, I have to win this battle. But when you have all your cheese on the table, you know, that's your livelihood. It doesn't matter if your capture card poops the bed and double clicks and only records 1 frame of when you first started and then crashes, and then you have to reload it while you're trying to figure out the beginning of the battle. So the first 3 turns go by with the timer going all the way down to the end because you're not really paying attention because you're trying to get your capture card to work. None of that matters. Gosh darn it. Wake up. We're in this. So some turns happen at the beginning of the battle. Functionally, nothing really that important. We do learn, though, that this Raging Bull is most likely offensive. I put up a light screen and that still did a ton of damage. Granted, that's not Specs damage. Specs would have darn near KO'd me. So we at least managed to eat that because of the choice specs. I go for Will-O-Wisp as he swaps out. I was hoping to just tag anything, something, anyone with the Will-O-Wisp. I would have even enjoyed it on the Raging Bolt, because those do run heavy slams sometimes just to catch fairy types off guard, and that would give him a way to hit my Ogerpon. Now, for those of you who don't know what Leavanny does, this is one Pokemon that I love using. Number 1, it's pretty fast, base 102 speed. Number 2, it can set up Sticky Web. Number 3, it gets a plethora of physical attack coverage, including knockoff, and that's why I go out to my Swalot here. He sets up Sticky Web, which is going to be very annoying. Now, I do have Terapagos for removal, but again, remember last time, every time I tried to spin, Terapagos was met with Sableye. So this time we have Dazzling Gleam on our Terapagos. We learn, we overcome, we turn off the lights because we're the one. Expecting him to stay in and just go for a coverage move, I do go for my Fire Punch there, but he brings in his Sneasler. Now, this Swalot also is here for the Sneasler, which is why I have it with Rocky Helmet. He goes for Fake Out there, which is fine by me. He just takes additional Rocky Helmet chip. Again, he is just trying to wear down my Swalot, so I absolutely understand why he's going to take every single little bit of chip on the Swalot that he can. Here, I expected him to swap out to something, and so I decided to go, we're going to mix it up this time. I learned from the other battle where I kept going for the moves at the wrong time. Now's the time for the Ice Beam. And so we do tag the Landorus on the way in, but that Ice Beam did nothing. I believe that this is an Assault Vest Landorus, because that should almost always be a 2-hit KO on Landorus, barring a Yache Berry. Earthquake comes out. This is a very specially defensive Tinglu, and so that actually does more than I expected. However, I just want to get up Stealth Rock. I went with Stealth Rock instead of Spikes in this match because I was worried about Rocky Helmet, but also I was worried about the Landorus switching in and out a lot, and so I wanted to be able to tag that with something here and there. And so I go for Stealth Rock as he switches out to his Leavanny. Sticky Web is already up and the Leavanny is burned, and so his Leavanny can come in. It won't be able to do too much damage unless it has Leaf Storm, but if it has Leaf Storm, it's only going to get 1 shot with it before it does less damage. not wanting to reveal too much of my own sets, I do decide to go back out to Swalot here. Swalot would also help if he just decides to go for a knockoff. I don't have to worry about losing my berries. I don't have to worry about losing cream. I don't have to worry about losing my cheese. But he just skitter smacks over and lowers my special attack, which actually is also still a contact move, so he takes the Rocky Helmet chip. That would have done super effective damage to Ting Lu, but I don't think it would have done too much damage. I decide to go for a gunk shot, I believe, at this point in the battle. I did think about doubling back to Ting Lu. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Excuse me. I've had too much cheese. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Just full lips over here like Swalot. I was really tempted to put a stuffed cheek set on Swalot, by the way. That's that move where you eat your berry and then your defense goes up. But I did not call this correctly. I could have just stayed in, and I was very tempted to do so. But I thought that it was odd that he went out to his Scizor there, because last time I tried to fire punch the Leavanny. So I don't know if he just called me doing it like that or what. I don't know. But either way, that's kind of this shadows of the first battle against Chef Hu, where I was not getting the calls right. Now he does U-turn out and go out into the Raging Bolt, as I did expect him to swap, but I missed the gunk shot on the incoming Raging Bolt. And the timer goes down to near 0 right there. I decide to go out into my Ting Lu on what I hope is an electric move, but it's another Draco Meteor. I could take those, but I did not want Ting Lu to get worn down like this, because he's just going to swap out once again. And here, expecting him to swap out, I'm like, okay, if you're going to swap, we're pulling the Whirlwind trigger. You're not just going to keep swapping around whenever you want. And so he swaps out to the Leavanny, and I'm starting to notice a little bit of a theme here, because we saw the Raging Bolt come in. It did not take any chip damage. We saw Scizor come in. It didn't take any chip damage. Or no, the Scizor did. But we did see that the Landorus did not take any chip damage. Now here, I made a call on the 50-50. I've gone out to Swalot every single time on his bug types. So I thought for sure he'd do something different besides U-turn, because he would just take chip damage for no reason. But he just U-turns, and I lose my Ting Lu for basically no reason. I could have just gone out into Swalot there, and I would have had Ting Lu, and that would have been amazing. Alas. So Sneasler comes back in. Sneasler can't really do anything to Swalot, so I'm just going to go back out into it, which is even more reason why I should have just swapped into Swalot as it were there. Here I was like, who's he going to go into? Okay, last time he went into the Scizor, the time before that he went into this. There's a couple of 50-50s at play here. I decided to go for Earthquake because he did stay in and go for Fake Out. And so like if he went for a different move, I wanted to be able to catch that. Gunk Shot ends up missing. Did I say Earthquake? Gunk Shot ends up missing, excuse me. I wanted, if he went out to the Landorus, I could hit that and maybe poison it, or I could hit, I don't know. I went for a move different from what the expectation was, because last time I did predict the Landorus coming in. So, a little bit of bad, just mispredictions here going on in the mid-game. Now, the Leavanny's annoying, so we need to get rid of it, and we do knock it out here after it hits the Rocky Helmet so many times that it knocks itself out. Has anyone in the audience ever done that with a mouse hold, trying to hit into a Rocky Helmet Pokemon? It is quite satisfying. Anyways, he goes out to the Raging Bolt, and now I don't have special walls to swap into it anymore, and so I am forced to let my Swalot go down. That does afford me an opportunity here, because I can go out into my Terapagos, and I'm heavy duty boots, so I know I'm going to outspeed the Raging Bolt. And I can go for the Dazzling Gleam, which will hit the Raging Bolt if he does not Terra, and if he goes out into the Sableye, I can two-shot the Sableye, and I don't have to worry about being locked into something weird with Encore. So we're seeing a lot, I'm getting a lot of deja vu vibes here from the last battle. Very annoying. Honestly, that Dazzling Gleam, I wish I could have had to do more damage. I was very tempted to put a damage boosting item onto Terapagos, but I was worried about the entry hazard pressure that he had. Between, like, he could have set up the Stealth Rocks in a few different ways. He had the Sticky Webs. So, yeah. I was just worried about those different aspects. Here I decided to go for Reflect, thinking that I could live a knockoff, but I don't live the knockoff after the reflect. I was very surprised at that. Maybe it might have been a stronger play to go for the light screen if I knew I was going to get knocked out either way. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. On the plus side, though, there's a few different things I can do here. Now, my Terra Grass for this battle was absolutely freaking useless. And I wish I had done what Lux had suggested, which is Terra Dark, because Terra Dark would have protected me against Prankster moves. I also wish I would have done what Amber suggested and gone Terra Electric, because Terra Electric would have protected me against Thunderwave. Here, I was like, okay, I need to figure out if he has Thunderwave on this thing or not. I need to switch around, and if he has Thunderwave, he's probably gonna use it once he gets up to a decent level of HP, right? Because they'll put up a light screen, put up a reflect, maybe Thunderwave something. We know he has knockoff and light screen. That's all that we've seen so far. So I'm thinking if I see another screen, then it's less likely that he has the Thunderwave. So here he just goes for knockoff, which removes my heavy duty boots. And so if I come back in, I'm going to be slower than everything because I will get -1 speed because of the sticky web. He goes for recover, and I was like, okay, that's good news. We already knew that, but also that's another recover that we're removing. With the light screen up, Dazzling Gleam does functionally no damage. I can't even force him to recover, and I didn't bother PP upping Dazzling Gleam for this battle because I didn't think I'd be clicking it that much. So as much as he's only has 8 recovers, I only have 10 Dazzling Gleams. So that's what I get for being cheap and not just spending the money on all the PP ups that I needed for Terapagos here. He's used 3 recovers at this point, and I'm like, okay, I don't think he has the Thunder Wave, because he would have Thunder Waved me right there if he had it. He would have gone for that move because he would either burn me to help me take chip damage, or he would go for the Thunder Wave in order to slow me down and to make it so I might not be able to move. Right? That's what I'm thinking. So I go out into my Tornadus. As he goes to put back up the light screen, I was like, alright, now's my chance. My Terra type is pretty useless, but I can still go for a Nasty Plot and boost my special attack up to the point to where it would be like light screen's not there. So really I need 2 Nasty Plots in order to put some dents into some things here. The one good thing about the grass typing is that against the Raging Bolt, we will resist the electric type moves. The other good thing, apparently, is that we're just going to dodge completely the Thunder Wave. So he did have Thunder Wave the whole time, and he hit it very, very well. Because I was like, he surely would have used it against Terapagos earlier. And I didn't know why he didn't use it earlier. I was like, man, that's why I was waiting. Now, never punished here, I decide to stay in and go for a Bleak Wind Storm. Because I can 2-shot the Sableye from here. And with my remaining teammates, I really don't have a shot at winning unless I'm able to remove the sticky web from this field. If the sticky web stays up, I can't win anyway. So I might as well try to put as much damage as possible onto this thing, and it's not going to happen from Terapagos. So here we're just going to stay in and go for the Bleak Wind Storm as he hits the Thunder Wave this time. And so that means that the first one missing didn't actually end up mattering. So he hits this one, and then I get paralyzed. So, punished for something. I'm not sure. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to freaking Nasty Plot again because I need the extra damage output at this point. And also he still has his light screen up, like things are just looking too bulky. So he does swap out at this point. I thought he was just going to hang out and use his Sableye to just kind of annoy me. So I used Nasty Plot again because I was like, great. Even though I'm paralyzed, I can live any hit from the Landorus. And here I was really sure that he was going to go for something that would hit my grass typing there. So I decide to not Terra because I was like, oh, if he goes for any of those other moves, they might do more damage to the grass typing. But not only does that end up being the wrong call, I get paralyzed again. And so that's functionally the death knell for Tornadus. I let it come in, get paralyzed. I got up to +4 and then didn't get to get off a single attack. So at least I could have taken out the Landorus, right? Like that would have been nice. Ah, man. The Landorus being so specially bulky, remember we saw that earlier, we know that it's going to have that special bulk to it. Unfortunately, he also crits with the Earthquake here. I went for a coverage move there. Like, it mattered is in terms of, oh yeah, he got the KO with the Earthquake, but because it's so bulky, I don't think I would have KO'd him anyway, even with my move. So, I guess I would have put him in range of my Ogerpon, potentially. But, yeah. At that point in the battle, it was more demoralizing than anything, because I felt like I played the early game really strong in this match, and then it really fell apart after I lost Tinglu. So, as much as I was really looking forward to this match, this is going to be a loss against John Jr., and that unfortunately means that we're going to be out of one last ride. So it was our last ride for the OG Albina, I guess, unless he does another low tier before the end. I don't know. We'll say that this is our last ride before the end of the OG Albina type draft leagues. So I will say my cheesy platitudes here at this point. Thank you all for having me in OLR. It was an honor to be invited. I hope you all enjoyed these matches. I hope you all will come back for more. Go check out John Jr. if you know what's good for you. Have some cheese, not too much. Cheese is a very calorie-dense food. You know, you want to be everything in moderation. But unless you're lactose intolerant or vegan and you don't want to have that, cheese is also a very good way to get a lot of great macros in your diet. So yeah, have some cheese, enjoy yourself, enjoy the cheese, and we'll reconnect here again soon in yet another draft league. Good night, everyone.